Mic check, 1, 2. What is going on, everybody? The microphone is hot. We're coming in. It's 12:02 p.m. at least where I am. I don't know whatever time it is and wherever you are. Welcome to Slay Cert Plus. Let's get cooking. My name is Jesse J, aka the Cosmic Cowboy. I enjoy helping others pass their cybersecurity certifications using top industry resources and for free. I'm studying for my CISA Plus. Maybe you are too. If you find some value, make sure you like and share it with somebody who else might find some value. This is a lunchtime power hour, so you know how it goes. About 30 minutes. We're going to answer some questions, and then I'll turn you loose. Before we get started, I want to thank our session sponsor. Every episode of Slay Cert Plus is brought to you by the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Right? So Dr. Jerry Ozier, with over 25 years of industry experience spanning across multiple sectors, breaks down the latest and the greatest in industry threats, techniques, tactics, procedures, tools, career tips, you name it. It's threat briefing. It's monitoring. It's for you. It's inclusive. Check it out. Make sure you go check out the link in the description. Or no, wait. Check out the link in chat to get started. Let's do our first question of the day real quick. When should an organization define the guidelines how they communicate during an incident? After RCA, before the incident occurs, during the recovery phase, or during lessons learned? So when should we define the guidelines that define how to communicate during an incident? Well, I would think before the incident occurs, and that's the one I'm going to go with. Let's check. Correct. Beautiful. Let's get right into the Cert Master Learn. We left off going through, we're almost completely done with our A company realizes an attacker has persistent access to several internal servers. What team is best to react to this? A, threat hunters, B, C-Cert or C, hacktivists, or D, general counsel? Well, let's look for two answers that are definitely not it. We have an attacker that's going on, right? We're being actively hacked. We need a computer security incident response team is what sounds most appropriate for me. Correct. Next question. Digital forensics. During a digital forensics analysis, an analyst may generate what kinds of useful information? A, IOCs, B, OSINT, C, misconfigurations, or D, vulnerabilities? Pick three. Which one do we think? During digital forensics, analysts measure what kinds of useful information? Well, we might find some IOCs. I think we might find some misconfigurations and vulnerabilities. I don't think we're going to get OSINT, right? That's not really digital forensics. That's just open source intelligence, things that we can see in public. All but OSINT. Yeah, that's what I'm going with too. Next question. A security organization is concerned about employees connecting rogue equipment to the network. What could they use to identify rogue devices? A, create a honeypot. B, consult paid feeds. Sure. D, use a map scan. Or D, take memory dumps. What's our question? A security organization is concerned about employees connecting to rogue devices to the company network. What could we use to identify them? A honeypot, consult paid feeds, use a map scan, or take memory dumps? Hey, Pirate Kitty, Slay Cert Plus. What's going on? Good to see you. I'm going to go with a map scan so we can see. That's what I'm thinking, right? C is to create a map scan to look for these devices, would be my guess. I'm going to try that one. All right. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on that one. Man, we are slaying domain 1.4 thus far. While reviewing alerts, an analyst notices a new signature is generating a high volume of false positives. This appears to be the result of an error in the signature that is written. This represents an issue with what attribute of threat intelligence? A, reconnaissance, B, relevancy, C, timeliness, or D, accuracy? Well, accuracy, right? So if we have a bunch of false positives, that's not accurate. That's going to impact the attribute the most, right? Is our accuracy here. Moving on. A threat actor stole 1,000 credit card numbers from an online retailer. Where might the actor try to sell these records? On the OSINT, on the ISACs, on the CCERT, or on the deep, scary, dark web? Ooh. All right, so we already know this one. This one's really straightforward. If you've ever watched either the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, been around cybersecurity, you kind of know how this goes. A threat actor stole 1,000 credit card numbers from an online retailer. Where are we going to try and sell them? Are we going to try and sell them on OSINT? No, OSINT is a practice. It's open source intelligence, right? We've talked about this a million times. ISACs, it's not an ISAC. We know a CCERT is the Computer Security Incident Response Team. So this one's really straightforward. We know this is the deep dark web. Yeah, agreed, Pirate Kitty, deep dark web. Now remember, there's a difference between the deep web and the dark web. When looking into malware, while looking into malware discovered on several workstations, an incident responder realizes it all came from a new USB drives the company recently procured. This could be an example of what type of attack? A supply chain, B, a cousin domain, C, data enrichment, or D, active defense. All right, so we get brand new. So my company gets brand new USB drives. We've bought them from a third party. Well, a cousin domain, data enrichment, and active defense have nothing to do with third parties. I think the only answer here is a supply chain. It's a type of a supply chain attack, right? The supply chain attack, that supply chain, whatever company is providing USB sticks to other companies, that manufacturer has some compromised USB sticks. And so the supply chain has been compromised. Yep, Pirate Kitty, slaying it. We're crushing it today, folks. A threat hunting team is looking for unusual traffic and anomalous attempts to access the company's essential servers, databases, and applications. This is an example of what focus area? A, indicators of compromised hunting. B, isolated network hunting. C, business critical asset hunting. Or D, misconfiguration hunting. I personally need to reread that one and see what they're looking for. A threat hunting team is looking for unusual traffic and anomalous attempts to access the servers, databases, and applications. This is an example of what focus area? D, misconfiguration hunting. C, business critical asset hunting. B, isolated network hunting. Or A, indicators of compromise hunting. I believe we're looking for indicators of compromise. Let me know what you think in chat, and I'll switch my answer to what the class thinks. But that is definitely what I'm going with. Yeah, I think so too, Pirate Kitty. IOC. Oh. I don't understand how we got this one. Hey! Hey, Code Brew, what's up, dude? Finally catch a little live stream. Good to see you. We just got our first one wrong of the day. The question was, the threat hunting team is looking for unusual traffic and anomalous attempts to access the company's essential service databases and network applications. This is an example of what area of focus. I see that the answer probably is isolated network hunting, but we're not looking for indicators of compromise. It looks like we're looking for traffic. So I'm saying traffic on the servers. So this to me was, I'm thinking the correct answer is going to end up being answer B, isolated network hunting, but we'll find out. All right, here's another one where we get to select 3 of the best options. A malicious actor is combing through LinkedIn to find email addresses to target an upcoming campaign. Which of the following terms describes this activity? OSINT collection, social media exploitation, threat hunting, or reconnaissance? All right, so we know what they're asking. They're asking us, what is this threat actor doing? They're looking through LinkedIn. They're looking for Pirate Kitty's email. They're looking for Code Brew's email. Maybe it's Dr. Ozier's email. Because they want to spoof them for some kind of phishing credential stealing campaign. All right, so the combing through the LinkedIn part for looking for the emails, what would that be? Well, it's not threat hunting, right? Threat hunting is where we're looking for threats. This is a threat actor, and they're doing OSINT collection. They're doing social media exploitation, and they are doing de-reconnaissance. So you get to pick 3 on this one, Virgo Beauty GG. You get to pick 3. So I'm going to go with OSINT collection, social media exploitation, and recon. Business critical asset hunting. My arse, that one's okay. That's the correct answer. Let's look at how we got that one wrong. That's the only one we've gotten wrong so far today. So let's take a look. Business critical asset hunting is when an organization defines its business critical systems and conducts a threat hunt designed to uncover unusual traffic and anomalous attempts to access those systems. Okay. Okay, so indicators of compromise hunting are items that suggest a compromise may have occurred. This can include communications with C2, suspicious network traffic, or unprivileged activity. Okay. All right. I get it. Let's keep going. A script kiddie. Look at this script kiddie over here. Look at this clean cut script kiddie. You think this guy's a hacker? Maybe a today's hacker. This guy looks like he's downloading some files. Come on, CompTIA. This is what CompTIA's idea of a hacker is. Which maybe that's more accurate than what we think of a hacker, right? A script kiddie is most likely to conduct which of the following operations? Deface the website of a prominent global oil company? Would they monitor the email communication of 2 European prime ministers? Would they set up a watering hole to steal the login credentials for online bank accounts? Or would they use multiple unsophisticated scanning tools against a public-facing website? All right. Basically, they're asking us, what is a script kiddie most likely to do? Well, we know a script kiddie is an untrained threat actor, right? They use publicly available exploits, a lot of automation, a lot of out-of-the-box, click it, pay for it tools. So setting up a watering hole to steal the login credentials for online bank accounts is relatively complex, and I could see somebody more in the organized crime doing that. Monitoring the email communications of 2 European prime ministers, that doesn't sound like, A, that sounds complicated, and B, doesn't sound like something a threat actor is known for. A threat actor is known for not doing that. That kind of activity is more like an advanced persistent threat or a state-supported, state-supported hackers. Defacing the website of a prominent global oil company, we see that as hacktivism. Right? Hacktivism typically has a social or a moral injustice, some kind of cause. We know it's multiple unsophisticated scanning tools that send it. We're correct. A threat hunter is looking for malicious activity on a corporate network. Which of the following might they use to guide their efforts? A, IOCs, B, IOAs, C, memory dumps, or D, log files. And we get to pick 2 of the best options. We're looking for malicious activity on a corporate network. Which of the following might we use to guide our efforts? Indicators of compromise, indicators of attacks, memory dumps, or log files? And you can pick 2 from there. Pick 2. I think it's going to be IOCs and IOAs. Memory dumps, log files, that's looking for, I think of memory dumps and log files maybe after the fact. We've already found an indicator of compromise, and then we're going to go to the memory dump and the log files. We don't know anything yet. We're just a threat hunter. We're a threater, and we're looking for this stuff. So my mind immediately goes with IOCs and IOAs. Let me know in chat if you think something is different. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Slay Cert Plus. We are going through some live CompTIA CISA Plus practice questions. Pirate Kid is going with logs. The only reason I don't think logs is because we're threat hunters, and typically threat hunting, I'm looking for those indicators of compromise and attacks. Once we've identified and correlated indicators of compromise and attacks, then we can start looking for the affected machines, memory dumps, and log files. I think it's the first 2. Let me know what you think. I'm going to send it. See anybody in chat, so I'm going to send this one. Yes! Let's go! During a log review, an incident responder discovers that a network administrator sent a sensitive file containing company financial data to their personal email account on the same day they resigned. This is likely an example of what? A, unintentional insider, or intentional insider. B, unintentional insider. C, OSINT collection, or D, a script kiddie. Well, we see that the same day they resigned. Okay, so somebody, it's either intentional insider or unintentional. The same day as they resigned tells me they're intentional. And you know, an insider threat, when we think of insider threats, those can be unintentional. Those can just be mistakes. A threat doesn't always mean that it's malicious, right? Like outside of my house right here, I've got a lot of property. A lot of it is desert, and part of it is that I want to keep it green. One of the things is that it's very dry, and unintentionally, the dryness can cause problems, just like an employee can unintentionally cause problems. An organization has chosen to automatically ingest indicators. This action is likely to ensure what desired, let's reread that question. An organization has chosen to automatically ingest indicators. This action is most likely intended to ensure what desired threat intelligence attribute? A, accuracy, B, APTs, C, timeliness, or D, relevancy. So we're tuning this to automatically ingest indicators. The automatic tells me timely, so we're not waiting on them. We're going to boogie through this one because we're correct, because I'm running on against time. A security researcher identifies a financial fraud scheme targeting multiple pharmaceutical companies. What type of actor is most likely responsible for this activity? A, nation state, B, script kiddie, C, hacktivists, or D, organized crime? Financial fraud. So whenever I see financial crime, my brain immediately goes to organized crime. Organized cyber criminals, organized cyber crime, they're in it for the money. They're trying to get the money, right? Cream, cash rules everything around me. Hacktivists, remember hacktivists, there's some kind of social, political, or religious ideology that they are either promoting or fighting against. Script kiddies use unsophisticated tools, have little training out of the box, stuff like that. And the nation state threat actors are looking at geopolitical espionage, things of that nature. These folks are looking for money. That tells me that it's organized crime, and we're correct. Got one question left. Let's do it. Which of the following techniques are likely associated with advanced persistent threat activity? 3. Anti-forensic techniques, trying out scripts found on a hacker blog, the presence of CIC, CNC, or command and control, or finally, the exfiltration of personally identifiable information. Anti-forensics techniques, right? The presence of command and control, right? And then the exfiltration of PII. Those are all attributes or techniques typically associated with APTs. Trying out scripts found on a hacker blog, they're doing that for fun in their sleep on their, they're not doing that professionally as part of their job activity. So we're sure it's these three. Let's send it. Let's end on a good note. We are crushing this domain. I've been studying a little on my own. It looks like you guys have been too. Woo! All right, folks, that concludes this lunchtime power study, half-hour study session. What is tomorrow? Wednesday? Tomorrow is Thursday, which means unless something comes up, you can find us here at 12 p.m. And then don't forget Friday, we've got a long-form study session that is at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope you guys are doing good. Come find me on LinkedIn. Find me at Dr. Jerry Ogier, Simply Cyber Threat Brief. Take care of each other. And until next time, stay secure and see ya!